In the hush, between midnight and dawn, there drifts a soft, salt-scented breeze. Imagine now that you are floating, weightless, across an endless, moonlit sea, far from clocks, far from duty, far from the restless turning of modern life. A gentle tide of thought carries you beyond the horizon, to an age shrouded in whispered legend. Tonight, let us wander together through the drifting mists of the golden age of piracy. Not the fiery cannon blasts, not the painted bravado, but something older, quieter, to glimpse the softer shadows of almost forgotten, the hollow rhythm of rope. We will drift past the ragged sails and weathered decks. That life, the slow creak of timbers, the hush of water against the hull, swinging in the night wind. Close your eyes and breathe gently, in and out. Let the breath itself become the tide, slow and faithful. As you inhale, imagine the salt air. As you exhale, let go of today. Picture the wide ocean, deep as forgotten memory, endless as night. Above, a spilled bowl of stars. Below, the hush of unseen depths. And in between, a lonely sloop, sails patchwork, and faded, drifting without haste. Her name lost to time, crewed by figures, half real, half dreamed, not heroes, not villains, merely souls seeking freedom from the world's cruel certainties. Ragged men who once had names, wives, brothers, now reduced to murmurs in the dark, stories told in rum-stained taverns. A time for quiet curses. Half their days were filled with weary tasks, patching sails, scraping barnacles, boiling salted beef. Their nights were long watches under silent stars, prayers, and drifting thoughts of home. Yet even in hardship, a strange stillness lingered. The sea demanded patience and offered a kind of mournful peace. And so, dear listener, drift with them now. Feel the deck roll beneath your feet. Hear the sigh of the breeze. Notice how the world slows when there is nowhere to be. Nothing left to chase. Only the endless rocking, the lulling rise and fall of gentle waves. Let these thoughts cradle your mind. Let them soften the sharp edges of wakefulness. And know, in this quiet story, there is no need to stay alert, only to float gently toward sleep. Picture the moon, low and heavy, its silver glow painting the sea in trembling light. The pirate sloop drifts onward, sails slack, crew half awake, each man lost in his private fog of memory and regret. Yet even in weariness, there is calm, the hush of shared solitude beneath a boundless sky. His face shadowed by a broad-brimmed listen to the quiet tap of ropes against the mast, the creak of wooden planks, swollen with brine and time, the gentle swish of water as the ship leans into a rolling swell. These sounds repeat again and again, soft as a lullaby. Somewhere on deck, a figure leans on the rail. Hat, he stares out over the sleeping sea, thoughts drifting between old dreams and the slow realization that freedom, too, carries a cost. Yet in this moment, he feels only the night's quiet embrace, the cool salt breeze brushing his face, like a mother's hand. Beyond the rail, the sea stretches into nothingness, black water, still deep enough to hold every lost hope, every whispered wish. It is easy, here, to imagine letting go, to sink softly into those depths, leaving behind the harsh sun and sharp hunger of the waking world. Close your eyes. Breathe again, slowly. With every breath out, let a little more tension slip away. A brief dance of shadow and light, with every breath in, drawing the stillness that hangs over these forgotten waters, above the stars. Look on, distant and indifferent, yet there is comfort in their cold constancy. They watched over countless ships before this one, and will watch long after it's gone. To the stars, a pirate's life is but a flicker, And so the ship drifts, the crew half lost in drowsy memory, half dreaming of golden ports they may never see. But in the gentle rocking, there is a promise that, even in hardship, the sea offers moments of peace. Let your mind sway with them, back and forth, back and forth. No need to hurry. The tide itself keeps the time. No need to hold on. The water carries all burdens away. As the night deepens, so too does the hush. The wind softens. The waves flatten to glass. And the pirate ship and its dreaming souls drift deeper still into the velvet embrace of night. The night sea lies as smooth as polished obsidian. The ship barely moves, held by the gentle breath of a dying wind. Above, the moon drifts behind a gauze of cloud. Its glow turns soft and ghostly. The air itself feels heavy with forgotten stories, drifting in the hush between waking and sleep. Imagine the deck, dark, worn smooth by countless restless feet. A few men lie wrapped in rough blankets, faces turned skyward, eyes half open, half dreaming, lulled by the endless hush of waves against the hull. Their minds wander to distant shores, childhood fields, the warmth of a fire. Long, cold, the ocean, though vast and merciless by day, becomes a cradle by night. Its slow, tireless, rocking whispers promises of rest. No need to fear the morrow. No need to remember what was left behind. Only the soft rhythm remains, like a mother humming an old song. Listen closer. Hear the gentle rasp of breath, one man's quiet sigh, the hush of wind slipping through rigging. Each sound merges with the next, until nothing is separate or become part of the same slow tide. A single, endless exhalation of the sea. Now, breathe with them. Slowly, deeply, let your chest rise with the swell and fall with the until it seems to echo the ship's own quiet pulse. Feel how each breath softens your thoughts, smoothing sharp edges into drifting shapes. Feel how each heartbeat slows. On the horizon, faint shapes loom, islands unknown, perhaps unseen by any chart. Yet tonight, they remain distant. Part of the dream, the pirates do not steer toward them, nor away. They drift, content to let the current choose their path. In this moment, nothing must be done. Nothing must be decided. Let the night sea carry you where it will. No need to row. No need to fight the tide. As you sink deeper into this quiet world, notice how your mind grows softer. Thoughts blur, like lantern light through fog. The past and future fade. Only the slow, swaying present remains, replaced by the slow, comforting heaviness of sleep. A drifting ship, a restless crew, and you afloat on calm, dark waters, and you are free. Let go. Each tiny flame, a memory of float with them. Feel the weight of the day slip away. And know, here, in the gentle dark, you are safe. You are adrift. The night deepens still. The hush grows heavier, like a blanket drawn closer about tired, for in the calm of night, the sea guides its own course. To a quiet cove he once saw as a boy. Far above, the stars scatter their pale light across the sea. Sailors lost and dreams unspoken. The ship drifts on, slow as thought itself. Each creak and sigh, part of a long-forgotten lullaby. Imagine now the figure at the wheel, his hands rough, his eyes half-closed. Not steering, but resting. His mind wanders beyond salt and wind. Still water, a sloping shore, the laughter of someone long gone. The memory fades, as all do, replaced by the rhythm of breath, in and out, slow as the tide. Each exhalation releases another fragment of worry. Each inhalation draws in the vast, the slow roll of the deck, the silent calm of open water. It is here, in this quiet hour, that even a pirate may dream. Close your eyes. Drift with him. Feel the coarse wood of the wheel beneath calloused palms. Gentle slap of water against worn boards. See the lantern's glow swaying with each movement of the ship. Shadows dancing across salt-stained timbers. Soft, wavering, like memories in half-sleep. Time loses shape here. Minutes stretch, unspooling into something softer. The moon drifts behind veils of cloud. Stars brighten and fade. The sea sighs and breathes. And through it all, the ship glides on, unhurried, unbound. Notice how the world narrows. No cities, no voices, only water, wood, and wind. A life stripped of noise, of clocks, of the endless push forward. Here, nothing demands your name. Nothing asks your purpose. Rest in this quiet. Let your breath become the tide. Gentle, constant. With each slow exhale, sink deeper, as if your thoughts dissolve into the rolling black beneath the keel. A soft descent into calm. And as you drift, remember, even the hardest lives had moments of stillness. Nights when swords stayed sheathed, hearts beat slower, and the sea rocked them toward sleep. Tonight, you share in that ancient, drifting peace. No need to wake. Let the waves carry you farther from shore, farther from thought, into a place where only silence speaks. Far from any port, far from the shouting of markets and the tolling of bells. The sea becomes a world without walls, without clocks, without questions. Only the steady hush of water and the soft groan of a ship shaped by years and salt. Picture now the deck at midnight. Lantern lights spilling in gentle circles, revealing coiled ropes, empty barrels, and the slow rise and fall of sleeping figures. The air smells of tar, old wood, and the faint sweetness of distant land, carried on a breeze. Above, the sails hang loose, their canvas stirring only slightly with each sigh of wind, and all around, darkness, as soft as velvet, wrapping the ship in quiet embrace. Somewhere below deck, a man dreams of orchards in Devon, of rain on green hills, of laughter once shared and long lost. Dreams come unbidden, like small birds resting for a moment on an outstretched hand, then flutter away, leaving only the warmth of remembered sunlight. The ship, too, dreams in her way. Timbers that once stood as living trees now creak with memory. Every nail, every plank, every scar tells of other nights, other seas. But tonight she knows only quiet. She has known storms, blood, cheers, and curses. Listen to the rhythm. The sea breathing against the hull, slow and faithful. The faint clink of chains, the soft rustle of canvas, each sound repeating, calming, a lullaby woven from salt and wood. Breathe in this rhythm. Let your own thoughts slow to match. In gentle as a rising swell, how each worry drifts farther away, like a lantern cast out, soft as foam dissolving on the tide. See how the mind becomes lighter. Adrift on dark water, it simply is. Watch them float, growing smaller, until they vanish beyond the horizon of thought. What remains is only now, this rocking hush, this soft darkness. In these moments, the world is neither kind nor cruel. An endless expanse, silent, ancient, patient as stone, and within it you drift, unmoored from care, adrift on calm seas of memory and night. Let go a little more. Feel the deck beneath you soften into cloud. The salt breeze cool on your cheek. No need to steer. No need to speak. Only the soft breathing of waves and the quiet roll of the only to drift, slow and still, into deeper rest. Beyond the lantern's gentle glow, the sea merges with sky, becoming an endless dark second stretching like old rope. Moments expanse. No horizon. No compass point ship, hands resting lightly on the salt rough rail. The hush, the sway, and in this space, even time itself seems to slow, lingering before drifting away. Imagine standing at the bow, The wood is cool beneath your fingers. The breeze carries the faintest hint of distant land, all of it weaving a lullaby. For now, there is only the present. The low murmur of thought fading into calm. Close your eyes. See not with sight, but with memory and dream. 1,000 tiny ripples, reflecting silver stars. The gentle slap of water against the hull. The hush of unseen currents deep below. A figure passes by. Footsteps muffled on worn planks. His gaze soft, unfocused. Thoughts adrift like yours. Perhaps he too remembers a distant hearth, a mother's song, a field of summer grass. For a breath, your memories touch, then drift apart, each lost to its own gentle current, muscles softening, thought by thought, until you seem part of notice how your breath is slowed, in filling you with quiet, out, carrying away what weight remains. Feel your body grow heavier. The deck itself, above, the canvas stirs, whispering secrets to the night wind, as if the night itself cradles you, a slow, hollow beat of rigging and mast, familiar, comforting, steady as a heart. These sounds repeat, again and again, until the waking mind releases its hold, and only the drifting awareness remains. See now how the stars ripple in dark water, each shimmer a thought rising, flickering, and fading. There is no need to chase them. Let them come and go as they will. Thoughts need not be held or shaped, only watched gently as they dissolve into calm. In this drifting world, there are no destinations, no burdens, only the gentle rise and fall, the soft darkness, and the hush of waves. Let yourself sink into this stillness, deeper, softer, and as you drift, remember, the sea keeps no memory of the storms it has known. Only the calm that follows remains. So too, your mind may release its noise, leaving only quiet, slow breath, and sleep. Far below the hull, unseen currents wend their silent path. Slow rivers of salt and shadow, carrying driftwood, lost coins, and forgotten dreams. Above, the ship drifts still, sails limp, timbers groaning softly, as if whispering secrets to the waiting sea. Imagine lying upon the deck, the boards warm from the memory of the day's sun, eyes half open, watching the mast sway gently against the stars, each movement unhurried, each creak familiar, a slow, rocking rhythm, older than maps and kings. Around you, other shapes rest, men who, by daylight, wear rough laughter and sharp words. But now, under the hush of night, there are only tired hearts wrapped in coarse cloth, only slow breaths rising and falling in quiet unison. It simply bears their weight. No swords, no shouts. Notice how the night sea holds them all, equally, without question or demand. It asks for nothing. It keeps no ledger, and in return offers a peace found nowhere on land. A hush so deep, it seems to slow the very pulse of the world. Close your eyes. Feel your own breath. Join this hush in soft as foam, gathering on a distant shore. Out, gentle as fog, lifting from morning water. Let each breath grow longer, softer, until it becomes part of the sea's slow breathing. Far off, the faint cry of a seabird drifts across the dark, a sound that barely stirs the air, fading almost before it's heard. Even this brief voice becomes part of the night's quiet song, a lullaby pieced together from wave, wind, wood, and memory. Thoughts may still rise, small and restless but watch them without chasing. Let them flutter and settle, then drift away. No thought must be kept. No story must be finished. Only the gentle rocking remains, and the soft dark around you. In this moment, you belong neither to land nor to tomorrow. You are a drifting shape among drifting shapes, a breath among many, and that is enough. More than enough. For tonight, there is nothing to do, nowhere to be. Sink deeper. The ship glides as though half remembered in a Let your mind become as calm and dark as the sea below. Let go of shores you've left behind, and trust the slow tide to carry you farther into rest, deeper into night, deeper into stillness. Dream. Sails hang loose. In the hush, the deck feels softer beneath you, shaped by countless tides and countless nights like this one. Above, the stars seem closer now, as if leaning down to listen to the hush of breath and timber. Close your eyes. Feel the slow rise and fall beneath you. The sea itself, breathing, each movement gentle, each creak and sigh as familiar as a cradle song, the rhythm repeating again and again until thoughts soften and slip from your grasp. Imagine now the faces of those around you, their lines eased by sleep, care set aside for a few quiet hours. Even the hardest eyes grow gentle in this hush, the lines of salt and sun softened by shadow. They're dreamers now, like you, adrift together beyond judgment or fear, bound not by chains of gold or law, but by the simple trust of shared silence. The ship becomes a floating world of breath and wood, a slow-moving island, untethered from ports and empires. No cannon roars, no shouts disturb the calm, only the tide's quiet voice, washing across thought and memory alike. Breathe deeply now, drawing in the vast night, every vanished name out, releasing what weight clings to your mind. With each breath, sink farther into the soft current that carries you. Beyond the ship, the sea stretches unbroken, dark and patient. It holds the memory of every lost sail, yet it keeps these secrets gently, wrapped in endless depth. And tonight, it holds you too, lightly, tenderly, like a mother rocking a child to rest. Feel your thoughts drift farther apart, each one softer, slower, until they blur into a single, gentle haze. See how the world grows wide and quiet, as if night itself breathes around you, a calm so complete. It feels as though even the stars rest their tired light. Here, there is no need to remember who you were by daylight. Shapes blur, and the deck feels like part of the sea itself. No need to name each hope or fear, only to float, embraced by darkness, carried by tide and time alike. And as your breath grows slower still, know that you are safe, gently adrift on an ancient sea of calm. The lantern light fades, leaving only the soft gleam of moonlight on wet wood. Shadows deepen, a single quiet world, gently swaying beneath the stars. Listen to the hush that surrounds you, the sea's low whisper against the hull, the slow, patient creak of timbers worn smooth by years of salt and wind, each sound repeating, again and again, a lullaby older than the names of kings. Imagine now a young sailor curled beside a coil of rope, his breathing slow, his thoughts softer still. Perhaps he dreams of fields he hasn't seen in years, or the laughter of someone waiting far beyond the horizon. Yet even those dreams begin to blur, fading into the tide of night. Above, the sky stretches without end, scattered with quiet stars. They watch without judgment, without question. Their cold light touches every soul aboard, equally, reminding each that in darkness, all hearts beat the same. Even those hardened by sea and steel become small, gentle shapes beneath the infinite night. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly, in letting cool, salt air fill you out, releasing the day's weight into the waiting dark. Feel how your thoughts soften, floating just beneath the surface. Beyond the rail, the sea rolls in long, heavy swells. Its slow rhythm seeps into your limbs, your chest, your quiet mind. No need to keep hold of thoughts or plans. Let them drift away, sinking gently into the depths below. Notice how the body grows heavier, softer, muscles slackening, breath slowing to match the slow, ancient pulse of the tide. The mind itself becomes a dimly lit cabin, each thought a faint flicker, soon quieted by the hush outside. And in this calm, a soft truth whispers through the dark. Even the hardest journeys find moments of peace. Even the most restless hearts can be stilled by night and water. And even now, in the quiet of this drifting ship, you may find your own rest. Sink deeper. Let the ship cradle you like a leaf upon the tide. Let the slow, steady sea carry your thoughts farther away until nothing remains but calm breath, gentle rocking, and the soft promise of sleep. Deeper into the night, the ship becomes little more than shadow upon water, as if it too feels the pull of sleep. Timbers worn smooth by years of sun and salt now seem to melt into the darkness. Even the moonlight softens, growing pale and drowsy. Imagine lying on the deck, eyes half open, watching the mast sway gently across the scattered stars. The wood beneath you, warm where lantern light once touched it, now cooling slowly. The smell of salt, tar, and old canvas hanging in the still air, each breath slower than the last, each thought softer, like mist dissolving at dawn. All around, the crew has surrendered to the same gentle pull. A man curled near a coil of rope, another slumped where he stood, head resting on folded arms. In sleep, they seem younger. The hard lines of daylight eased into something almost peaceful. Even the deepest scars softened by the dark. Listen to what remains. The slow sway of the mast, the faint tap of rope on wood, the hush of water slipping past the hull, sounds repeating, calm and low, until they blend into a single gentle murmur, a lullaby, not heard with ears alone, but felt through the bones. Breathe in this hush, cool night air filling you with quiet, the day's weight sinking gently into the black water below. With each breath, thoughts drift farther apart, becoming shapes without edges, memories without names. See now how the stars ripple softly in dark water, their light bending with each gentle swell. They shimmer, then fade, then shimmer again. Like fleeting thoughts, impossible to hold. There is no need to hold them, only to watch, then let them pass. In this drifting world, there are no orders shouted, no cannon fired, no maps to read, only slow rocking and the long, patient sigh of the sea. The ship itself seems half asleep, dreaming of ports long gone and waves long past, a memory afloat on deeper memory. And you, too, become part of this quiet story, a single breath among many, a slow heartbeat rocking with the tide. In this moment, there is no past to recall, no future to fear, only the soft, dark, and the gentle promise of sleep. Sink deeper now. Let the hush of water soothe you, like a whispered lullaby from the deep. Let each breath draw you farther from waking, and know, here, in the quiet heart of night, you are safe to drift. The dark deepens until it feels almost endless, a vast, quiet ocean that holds a drifting ship as tenderly as it holds your drifting thoughts. Above, the stars glimmer faintly, soft by a pale mist that blurs their sharp edges. The world itself feels hushed, as though even the wind has paused to listen. Imagine standing near the one hand resting lightly on rough wood, warm from the day now cooling in the night air. The sails hang slack, heavy with dew, barely stirring. Each breath you draw tastes of salt and stillness. Each exhale melts softly into the waiting dark. All around you, figures lie scattered. A body curled beside an empty barrel, another stretched beneath slack canvas. Their faces calm, eyes closed, the sharp lines of daylight eased by sleep into softer, gentler shapes. In dreams, even old enemies share the same quiet sea. No shouts, no blades, only slow breath and silent rocking. Close your eyes and listen to the night itself. The faint creak of timber shifting under gentle swells, the quiet lap of water against barnacled boards, the distant call of a seabird, fading almost before it's heard, each sound slow and low, repeating until thought itself begins to drift. Breathe softly. Now, in drawing the hush of the ocean into your chest, letting go of what clings to waken, With each breath, the mind grows softer, the body heavier, sinking gently into rest. The horizon, invisible in darkness, becomes a place without promise or demand. There is nowhere to reach, no port waiting beyond the black water. Only drifting, gentle and slow, each heartbeat echoing the hush around you. Thoughts may still rise, like stray ripples on still water. Watch them come and go, without chasing or holding. See how they fade, as gentle as lantern light swallowed by fog, leaving only the calm, only the rock and hush of the tide. And in this quiet, remember, the sea keeps no memory of each passing ship, yet it cradles them all, just the same. Tonight, it cradles you, too, lightly, patiently, asking nothing but surrender. Let go, little by little. Feel the body grow heavy, anchored only by breath. Feel the mind grow light, drifting farther into soft, dream-like, until even thought dissolves, leaving only peace and sleep. Farther into the night, the boundary between waking and dreaming blurs until it feels like mist over calm water. The ship drifts on, almost forgotten by the world beyond, a quiet shape on an endless sea. Above, the last clear stars shimmer gently, their light soft by distance and time. Picture yourself lying on the deck, head turned toward the dark sky. The boards beneath you warm when lantern light once touched, now slowly cooling. The hush around you so deep that even breath feels like part of it. Each inhale and exhale slower than the last. Thoughts drifting like fallen leaves on a tide. The crew, once fierce by daylight, lie scattered in easy sleep. Their faces turn soft in shadow, muscles unknotted by the quiet pull of rest. Scars, fears, and stories set aside, at least until dawn. In this hour, they are no longer pirates or sailors, only tired hearts adrift together. Listen to what remains. The low sigh of wind stirring the rigging, the slow groan of wood easing against each gentle swell. Sounds repeating, steady, familiar, until they lull even the sharpest memory into drowsy calm. A lullaby older than sails and salt, sung not in words, but in quiet rhythm. Breathe in, slowly. Feel the hush of night filling your chest. Breathe out, softer still, letting go of thoughts that cling, letting them slip quietly into the waiting dark. Each breath becomes longer, slower, until it echoes the sea's ancient patience. Beyond the rail, the water rolls heavy and dark, carrying reflections that bend and ripple. Stars break into shimmering fragments across the slow swell, yet they reform again and again, as if reminding you that even drifting thoughts return to quiet. See now how even memory softens. Edges blur, names fade, stories drift apart, until what remains is only calm awareness, floating gently in the hush, a single shape rocking in the rhythm of tide and thought. In this deep quiet, there is no need to remember tomorrow, no need to name the ports left behind, only to breathe, to drift, and to feel the weight of waking slip gently away. Let your body grow heavier still, as if sinking softly into the deck itself. Let the mind become lighter, like mist rising above calm water. And know that here, under ancient stars, you are free to rest, carried not by will, but by the slow, endless kindness of the sea. The hush deepens, until even the softest sounds seem wrapped in velvet shadow. The ship becomes little more than outline and memory, a drifting thought upon a darker sea. Above, the moon now hides behind drifting cloud, its pale glow softening into mist. Imagine lying with eyes half, the faint sway of the mast tracing slow arcs across the hidden stars. Each breath comes gentler now, as though even air moves more slowly in the depth of night. Thoughts float up, small and quiet, then sink back down into calm. The world beyond this drifting deck fades, until only hush remains. Around you, the resting crew lie still, wrapped in dreams as soft as old cloth. Their breathing rises and falls together, a single quiet tide, faces turned toward nothing in particular. No destination, no memory to hold, just the soft rocking and the calm that claims every restless heart. Listen to what little remains. The slow groan of timbers easing into each wave, the hush of water slipping past the hull, the faint tap of rope against mat, repeating, always repeating, until it becomes part of your own quiet rhythm. A lullaby without words, spoken only in movement and sigh. Breathe in this calm. Let the night sea fill your chest with stillness. Breathe out, softer still, feeling your weight settle deeper into the boards below. Each exhale carrying away the last bright fragments of thought. Beyond the ship's rail, darkness stretches without edge, an expanse so wide and silent that even worry dares not follow. And though nothing can be seen, you sense the slow, patient breathing of the water all around. Holding the ship, holding you, without question, without demand. Notice now how even memory seems softer, edges blurred by drowsy fog. Faces, words, and places drift by like distant lanterns on slow current. No need to name them, no need to hold them close. And in this deep quiet, there is a kind of freedom. No horizon to reach, no sails to trim, no tide to fight, only drifting, gentle, unhurried, carried by the slow kindness of the sea. Let go, still more. Feel your body become heavier, as though it sinks softly into the warm wood of the deck. Feel the mind become lighter, thoughts scattering like mist above black water. And trust that here, in the deepest hush of night, sleep will find you as it finds them all. The hour slips deeper into night, so deep it feels as though time itself has grown drowsy. The ship drifts quietly, a small, dark shape floating on an endless sea of thought and shadow. Above, the last thin veil of cloud softens the faint gleam of hidden stars, leaving only a soft, gentle glow. Imagine lying there, eyes half open, yet seeing little more than shifting shapes of rigging against the dark sky. The deck beneath you feels almost warm, as though it remembers the day's sun. Your breath slows to match the slow rocking, each inhale drawn from salt-scented night, each exhale softer, longer. Around you, the men sleep, wrapped in old blankets and older memories, faces turned toward the hush, their sharp lines softened by rest. In sleep, even the fiercest hearts become gentle, their breathing part of the same quiet tide. For a few hours, at least, no gold is sought, no enemy feared, only dreams, drifting beyond reach of dawn. Listen to the hush itself, the faint groan of timber as the hull rolls over gentle swells, the whisper of loose rope brushing wood, sounds repeating, familiar and slow, until even the restless mind lets go. A lullaby felt more than heard, steady as the tide beneath. Breathe deeply now, the hush of the sea filling your chest, calming thought and body alike. Out, the weight of worry slipping into the dark water beyond the rail. Notice how each breath grows, softer, slower, until it becomes part of the ship's own breathing. Far beyond unseen coasts, wait in darkness. But they do not call tonight. For now, there is no map to follow, no port to find. Only the endless, gentle drifting thoughts rise like slow ripples, then fade, leaving the mind quieter with each passing swell. And in this drifting quiet, even the heart beats slower, a soft echo of the sea's ancient rhythm, patient, timeless. There is nothing to do but rest, Nothing to remember but breath and the hush around you. Sink deeper still. Feel your limbs grow heavier, anchored to the slow rocking of the deck. Feel the mind grow lighter, thoughts scattering like mist above dark water. And know that here, beneath the patient watch of hidden stars, sleep will come as gently as the tide. The darkness feels fuller now, almost soft to the touch, wrapping ship and sleeper alike in its patient embrace. The deck beneath you sways so gently that it seems to rock thought itself into slower rhythm. Above, the rigging sways with a low creak, repeating like a tired lullaby, whispered by wind and wood. Imagine lying still, breath slow, eyelids heavy, though the stars above are little more than blurred gleams. The night air cools, the warmth left by the vanished sun. Each breath drawn in feels calmer, quieter. Thoughts drift up, faint and pale as moonlit foam, then dissolve back into calm dark. Around you, the ship rocks in a rhythm older than memory, slow and steady, asking nothing. The crew sleeps on, each wrapped in private dreams, none disturbing the quiet shared between them. Hardened men, softened by rest, fear and greed forgotten for a time. No whispered plans, no counting of coin, only slow, unguarded breathing in the hush. For in sleep they are neither pirate nor prey, only souls adrift together on an ancient sea. Listen. The sigh of water against barnacled hull, the faint tap of rope stirring in the breeze, sound so gentle they barely break the stillness. Yet their repetition soothes what wakefulness remains, a slow reminder. Here, now, nothing must be done, only to drift. Breathe in, slow and deep. Let the hush of the sea cool, the thought still clinging. Breathe out, softer, letting each worry slide quietly into darkness. Feel how breath becomes slower, almost as though the sea itself breathes through you. Beyond the rail, darkness stretches wider than thought, yet feels strangely kind. No expectation, no demand, only the slow pull of tide and time. Thoughts that once felt heavy now float free, dissolving into the hush, leaving behind a mind as quiet as the moonlit water beyond the ship. Notice how your body sinks deeper with each breath. Muscles slacken, shoulders soften, eyelids grow heavier still. The mind drifts farther, as though following unseen currents into deeper dark. No need to turn back, no need to steer. The sea carries you without question, and so, in this quiet hour, you become part of the drifting ship, a shape among other shapes, breath matching breath, heartbeat matching the slow rhythm of the tide, until even the thought of drifting fades, leaving only sleep, soft, patient, and deep. Night wraps more closely now, a quiet so deep. It feels as though the sea itself has paused to listen. The ship drifts, forgotten by the world beyond horizon and time. Timbers sigh gently under shifting weight. The hush of water slips by, soft as whispered memory. Imagine lying still, breath slow and easy. Above, the mast sways gently against the hidden stars, each movement a slow arc traced across darkness. Thoughts rise, faint as mist, then drift apart before they can take shape, each breath softer than the last, until even the air feels drowsy, heavy with quiet. Around you, the crew has surrendered to rest completely. There, breathing deep, steady, as if each chest rose and fell by the same slow tide. In this hour, they are neither feared nor fearsome, only figures softened by shadow, carried by the same hush. Dreams come and go without words, shared only by the slow roll of the deck beneath them. Listen. The faintest slap of water on the hull, the muted creak of worn rope swaying in gentle breeze, sounds repeating in slow rhythm, like an old song half remembered in half sleep. A song not sung to rouse, but to soothe, to guide thoughts into deeper dark. Breathe in deeply now. Let the calm fill every hollow space of mind and chest. Breathe out, softer, slower, watching what thoughts remain sink quietly into night, each breath an oarstroke pushing you farther from waking, deeper into soft dark. Beyond the rail, the sea becomes less a place than a feeling. Endless, unseen, but known by its hush. No horizon to chase, no map to follow. Only this drifting, unhurried moment. Thoughts become as light as drifting foam, carried by, tide without effort, until they blur into the calm that holds the ship afloat. Notice how your body feels heavier with each exhale, as though sinking gently into the worn boards held securely by the patient deck. The mind, by contrast, grows lighter. Thoughts unmoored, drifting on unseen current. Both body and mind easing into the soft cradle of night. In this quiet, there is nothing left to do. No course to plot, no sail to trim, no watch to keep, only to drift, unbound and unburdened, on the tide of breath and thought, until even the act of drifting fades, leaving only sleep, deep, gentle, and unbroken. The night deepens further, softening every edge and line until even the ship itself feels like a memory. Above, the sky has settled into a quiet canopy of scattered, faint stars. Their light gentle as old lullabies. The hush has grown thicker, as if words themselves might sink into it, unheard. Picture yourself resting on the deck, the boards beneath you warm where lantern light once lingered, now slowly cooling in the salt breeze. Each breath feels slower, deeper, drawn from an air heavy with calm. Thoughts live for a moment, then dissolve before they fully form. And what remains is only the rocking, slow, patient, timeless. Around you, the men who once bristled with hard laughter and sharp words now lie quiet, breathing in rhythm. Their chests rise and fall together, guided by the same unseen tide. No gold, no enemy, no storm in these quiet hours. Only dreams softer than the canvas above, shared silently in sleep. Listen to the gentle soundscape, the faint groan of wood settling under old weight, the slow wash of water against the hull, a low creak of rope, stirring with each small sway, sounds repeating until they seem part of your own slow heartbeat. Breathe in the hush. Let it fill the space between thoughts, cool and calming. Breathe out, softer still, watching as the day's last worries slip silently into the dark beyond the rail. Notice how each breath grows slower, as if even your chest is rocked by the sea's gentle sway. Beyond, the water stretches, without edge, without question, dark, endless, and kind. It keeps no memory of each ship that passes, only the calm that follows. Your thoughts, too, need no anchor tonight. Let them drift, scatter, and vanish into deeper quiet. Feel how your body grows heavier, each limb sinking softly into the worn deck, yet the mind floats lighter, as though lifted by unseen currents of sleep, both held safely by the same patient hush, the same rhythm older than maps or names. And so you drift, a single breath among many, a single heartbeat among the slow pulse of tide and ship. No need to steer, no need to hold tight to thought or memory, only to surrender slowly to the pull of night and sink deeper into rest. The hour grows so late, it feels as though the world itself has drifted into The ship rocks gently on quiet swells, its timbers whispering old secrets to the water below. Above, the sky glows with the faintest shimmer of hidden stars, soft by drifting mist. Imagine lying with your gaze turned upward, breath slowing as if pulled by the hush around you. Thoughts stir, pale and formless, then dissolve into calm before words can shape them. The boards beneath you feel almost alive, warm from old sun and smoothed by countless tides. With each slow breath, the waking world drifts farther away. All around, the crew rests deeply, unguarded at last. Rough faces, softened by shadow and stillness. The same hands that by day haul rope and grip blade now lie open, empty, gentle in sleep. For now, there is nothing to take, nothing to fight, only the comfort of shared quiet. Listen to the gentle song of the ship at rest, the low, steady groan of timber moving with the water, the soft tap of rope swaying in the breeze, the hush of waves brushing against barnacled hull. These sounds repeat until they become part of the breath itself. Breathe deeply, drawing the salt cool hush into chest and mind. Out, letting go of the last bright fragments of thought, letting them sink into darkness. Each breath grows longer, softer, as if even the body begins to dream. Beyond the rail, darkness stretches so far, it feels as though it might wrap the ship and carry it gently onward forever. No horizon to chase, no wind to catch, only drifting, unhurried, unbound. Thoughts float up, like foam on a gentle swell, then fade without a trace, leaving only quiet, only breath. Feel your body grow heavier still, each limb softening into the boards below. The mind, by contrast, becomes lighter, thoughts scattering like mist rising off dark water, both cradled by the same patient night, rocking in the same slow tide, in this drifting calm. You are not pirate, nor passenger, nor anything named. You are breath. You are heartbeat. You are quiet shape, adrift between sky and sea. No need to hold on. No need to guide the ship of thought, only to drift, softer and deeper, until even drifting itself becomes sleep. The night feels endless now, its hush so deep it seems to reach through wood and water alike. The ship drifts quietly, no destination in sight, only the patient embrace of dark sea and softer sky. Above, clouds drift lazily, parting now, and then to reveal faint, distant stars, their light gentle as a memory half remembered. Imagine lying still, breath slow, the deck beneath you warm from the day's vanished sun. Thoughts rise, faint and shapeless, then sink back into calm before they can gather form. Around you, the slow sway of the mast traces a rhythm older than any clock, and with each breath, waking slips farther behind. The crew sleeps on, scattered shapes, softened by shadow and quiet. The men who by daylight spoke in hard words, now lie quiet, wrapped in dreams they cannot name. In sleep, even scars seem softer, the weight of fear and hunger eased, if only for these few hours. All hearts, for now, carried by the same slow rockin'. Listen closely. The faint groan of timber easing under gentle swell, the whisper of rope shifting in the night breeze, the hush of water brushing against the hull. Repeating, always repeating, sounds so soft they feel more like thoughts than noise, guiding the mind deeper into rest. Breathe deeply now, drawing the hush of night deep into chest and mind. Out, letting go of all that remains awake, releasing it into the waiting sea. Notice how each breath grows slower, as though time itself stretches between them. Beyond the ship, darkness stretches without end, yet feels oddly kind. No promise of landfall, no call of distant harbor, only the soft acceptance of drifting. Thoughts float free, lighter than foam, then fade, leaving calm in their place. Feel your body grow heavier, sinking gently into the warm boards. Shoulders slacken, arms and legs softening under the quiet weight of sleep. The mind becomes lighter still, thoughts drifting like mist above dark water. Both body and mind held safely in the rocking hush. And in this deep quiet, you are no longer watcher nor sailor, neither storyteller nor listener, only breath and heartbeat, rocking gently between sky and sea. There is nothing left to remember, nothing left to plan, only to drift farther, until drifting itself becomes dreaming, and dreaming becomes sleep. The night grows so deep now that it feels as though nothing else has ever existed. The ship, worn and silent, becomes a single dark shape floating through a sea of quiet. Above, the last scattered stars shimmer faintly, softened by drifting cloud, as though half asleep themselves. Imagine lying there, breath slowing, the deck beneath you warm from vanished lantern glow. Thoughts rise, pale and slow, then sink before words can catch them. The world beyond feels distant, hushed by dark and tide alike. Each breath feels longer, softer, until even breathing seems part of the drifting. Around you, the men lie lost in private dreams, faces turned gentle by shadow, lines of care eased by the hush. In sleep, no rank matters, no fortune counts, only breaths shared in silence. All hearts rocked by the same old sea for these few still hours before dawn. Listen, the low, patient sigh of water against the hull, the soft creak of rigging moving with the breeze, sounds repeating, slow and steady, until they become part of your own quiet heartbeat. A lullaby sung, not by voice, but by tide and wood and night itself. Breathe in deeply. Let the salt cool, calm, fill every hollow space of mind and chest. Breathe out, softer, slower. Feel each thought slip gently into darkness, unneeded, unnoticed. With each breath, the waking world feels farther away. Beyond the rail, darkness stretches, without edge, patient as the sea itself. No harbor waits, no call of shore, only drifting, without plan or promise. Thoughts lift lightly, like foam, on slow water, then fade, leaving only calm. And the mind becomes as quiet as the dark horizon itself. Notice how the body softens, limbs heavy as though sinking into the wood, muscles slacken, shoulders rest, the weight of the day forgotten. The mind, lighter, still, drifts farther from thought, farther into hush, both held by the same ancient rhythm of tide and breath. And so, you drift, neither sailor nor listener now, only quiet shape afloat between sky and sea. No need to remember where you began, no need to wonder where you end. Only to drift, slowly, softly, until drifting becomes dreaming, and dreaming becomes sleep. The hush of night grows deeper still, as if even the sea has slowed its breathing to match your own. The ship drifts on quiet swells, a small, dark shape, wrapped in endless calm. Above, a few faint stars, Narration, blurred by drifting mist, their light soft as an old memory. Imagine lying on the worn deck, eyes half closed, thoughts no more than gentle ripples on still water. Each breath feels slower, drawn from the hush itself. The boards beneath you, warm where the day's sun once touched them, now cooling under the dark sky. And with each slow exhale, you drift farther from waking. Around you, the crew lies scattered in quiet shapes, softened by shadow. Faces turned to nothing in particular, mouths slightly open in sleep. In these hours, they are neither feared nor fearless, neither hunter nor only souls adrift together, held by the same slow rocking. Listen, the patient creak of old timbers easing under gentle sway, the soft lap of water against hull, a quiet tap of rope stirring in the breeze. Sounds repeating until they feel as steady as your own heartbeat. A lullaby, older than language, asking nothing but surrender. Breathe deeply now, in drawing the cool hush of night deep into chest and thaw out, letting the day's last fragments slip silently into darkness. Notice how each breath becomes longer, softer, until even breathing feels part of the rocking sea. Beyond the ship, darkness stretches without promise or demand. No need to seek a harbor, no course to steer, only drifting, unhurried and free. Thoughts drift up, light as foam on slow tide, then vanish, leaving calm in their place. And the mind itself becomes a quiet deck, where even memory rests. Feel how your body grows heavier, limbs sinking gently into warm wood, shoulders soften, breath deepens, eyes close without effort. The mind, lighter still, floats above, thoughts scattering like mist rising over dark water, both held by the same patient hush, the same timeless rocking. And in this deep quiet, you become part of the night itself. Neither name nor story matters, only breath, heartbeat, and hush. No need to turn back, no need to look ahead, only to drift, softly, until drifting becomes dreaming. and dreaming becomes sleep. Night folds itself closer around ship and sleeper alike, until even the thought of waking feels far away. The ship drifts as if guided not by wind or chart, but by the soft pull of dreams themselves. Above, the last pale stars hang quiet in the dark, their light gentle. Imagine lying still, breath slowing to match the hush around you. The boards beneath you warm where lantern glow once lingered, now cooled by night breeze. Thoughts rise only as faint ripples, then sink again into stillness before they can form words, and each breath feels longer, softer, until breathing itself becomes a kind of drifting around you. The crew rests in scattered quiet shapes, hardened hands slack, heads tilted toward unseen dreams. In sleep, their stories and scars fade into shadow. For a few hours, they are only breath and heartbeat, carried gently by the same patient tide that holds you. Listen, the soft groan of timber easing under gentle swell, the low hush of water brushing barnacled hull, the faintest tap of rope stirring in the breeze, repeating, unchanging, sounds that do not break the calm, but deepen it, like words whispered too softly to disturb. Breathe deeply in, drawing the cool, salt-laced hush deep into mind and chest. Out, letting the last restless thoughts slip quietly into darkness. Beyond the rail, notice how each breath stretches longer, how shoulders sink, how thought becomes mist. Beyond the ship, darkness stretches so wide it feels endless. No need for compass, no call of harbor, only drifting, slow and soft. Thoughts rise, light as foam on quiet water, then scatter into hush, leaving the mind as calm and open as the dark sea itself. Feel how your body softens further, limbs heavier, anchored by warmth and weight. The mind grows lighter, thoughts unmoored and drifting without aim, both held gently by the night's quiet rhythm. Slow, ancient, kind, and in this hush, you become neither sailor nor listener, not even dreamer, only quiet shape breathing with the tide. No past, no future, only this gentle rocking, until even drifting itself dissolves, and only sleep remains, deep, slow, and peaceful. The hour has grown so late that time itself feels blurred, as though night might stretch on forever. Gentle and unbroken, the ship, little more than a shadow now, drifts as quietly as a thought not yet spoken. Above, only the faintest shimmer of distant stars remains, their light soft by mist and memory alike. Imagine lying still, breath so slow it almost feels paused between heartbeats. The deck beneath you warm where sun once touched, now cooled by salt breeze. Thoughts stir only faintly, like ripples across dark water, then fade before they can wake the mind. And with each quiet breath, the world of waking drifts farther away. Around you, the crew remains wrapped in silent dreams. Hard lines of daylight softened by shadow, faces turned gentle by rest. In these hours, no plans are made, no gold is counted, no fear is named. Only slow breathing, shared without need of words, held by the same calm sea. Listen closely, the low creak of timber settling with each gentle roll, the soft lap of water against the hull, a quiet tap of rope shifting in the breeze, sounds repeating. Always the same, a slow lullaby that does not rouse, but guides thought and breath into deeper stillness. Breathe in slowly. Feel the hush of night fill every space in chest and mind. Breathe out, softer, letting go of what remains awake, letting it slip into darkness beyond the rail. Notice how each breath becomes longer, gentler, until even breathing feels part of the rocking sea. Beyond the ship, darkness spreads without edge or end. No coast to reach, no wind to chase, only drifting, slow and free. Thoughts lift lightly, like foam on slow tide, then scatter and vanish, leaving the mind quiet, untroubled, open as calm water under hidden stars. Feel your body soften still more, muscles slackening, limbs growing heavier, drawn gently into the boards below. The mind grows lighter, thoughts unmoored, drifting on unseen currents of sleep, both body and mind held safely in the same patient hush, steady, ancient, and kind. And so you drift, no longer watcher or sailor, not even storyteller, only breath, heartbeat, and hush. No need to hold on, no need to remember or reach, only to float, slowly, until drifting becomes dreaming, and dreaming deepens into soft, peaceful sleep. The night has settled into its deepest quiet, so calm, it feels as though even the sea itself is drifting into sleep. The ship rocks gently on slow swells, each movement smaller, softer, more forgiving. Above, the last faint shimmer of hidden stars lingers, blurred by mist, as if even light is growing drowsy. Imagine lying still, breath slower than the tide itself, the boards beneath you warm where day's heat once rested, now cooled under the endless sky. Thoughts drift up, gentle and formless, then dissolve before they can disturb the calm. With each slow breath, the waking world feels farther away, softer, quieter. Around you, the crew remains deep in rest. Rough hands, unclenched scars softened by shadow, faces turned toward nothing but hush. In these hours, there is no need for words, no need for plans, only the quiet breathing of men held by the same rocking dark. Listen to the ship's night song, the low, slow groan of timber, easing with each rise and fall, the quiet lap of water along barnacled hull, the faintest rustle of rope shifting in gentle breeze, repeating, steady, familiar, sounds that soothe rather than stir, a lullaby of wood, water, and time. Breathe deeply now, drawing the cool hush of sea and night into chest and thought of, letting go of the last bright fragments of wakefulness. Notice how each breath becomes longer, softer, until it feels less like effort, more like drifting itself. Beyond the ship, darkness stretches so wide it seems to hold every drifting thought, every fading memory. No need to steer or guide, only to float, unbound and patient. Thoughts rise, light as foam, then vanish into quiet, leaving the mind as calm as black water beneath hidden stars. Feel your body grow heavier still, limbs sinking into the warm boards, shoulders easing, breath deepening. The mind grows lighter, thoughts unmoored, drifting slowly into the soft dark, both body and mind cradled by the same slow rocking, the same ancient hush. And so you drift, no longer pirate, listener, nor even dreamer, only quiet breath, rocking gently between sky and sea. No need to look ahead, no need to look behind, only this soft drifting, slower, deeper, until drifting itself dissolves, and only sleep remains, silent, gentle, and complete. The hush grows so deep now, it feels as though the sea itself has paused, holding ship and sleeper alike in quiet embrace. The ship drifts without effort, guided not by wind or star, but by the slow kindness of tide and time. Above, the faintest shimmer of hidden stars remains, softened by thin mist, their glow gentle as memory. Imagine lying still, eyes barely open, breath soft as the night itself, the boards beneath you, worn smooth by years of tide and weather, feel almost warm against your back. Thoughts lit, pale and drifting, then fade before they can disturb the calm. With each gentle breath, waking thought drifts farther away. All around, the crew sleeps deeply, scattered shapes, soft by shadow, the hard lines of daylight forgotten. For a few hours, replaced by slack limbs and unguarded faces. No need for watchful eyes, no whisper of plan or fear, only slow breathing shared in silence, held together by nothing more than hush and rock and dark. Listen now. The low creak of timber moving with each slow swell, the soft lap of water brushing the hull. The faint rustle of rope swaying in the breeze, sounds repeating, slow and steady. A lullaby, spoken not in words, but in rhythm older than any tale. Breathe in. Let the hush of night fill chest and thought alike. Breathe out, softer still. Feel each lingering worry slip into the darkness. Beyond the rail, notice how each breath becomes longer, until even breathing feels part of the ship's gentle drift. Beyond the ship, darkness stretches, without promise or end. No need to guide, no need to know what lies beyond. Only drifting, soft and unheard. Thoughts rise gently, like foam on calm tide, then vanish, leaving behind a mind as quiet as the sea itself. Feel your body sink heavier into the boards, each limb softer than before. The mind, lighter still, thoughts floating free on unseen currents, both held in the same quiet rocking, the same patient hush of wood, water, and night. And so you drift. Neither sailor, listener, nor even dreamer, only quiet shape carried gently by tide and breath. No past to remember, no future to see, only this slow, silent drifting, until drifting itself becomes dreaming, and dreaming deepens into sleep, calm, deep, and unbroken. Night has slipped so far into silence now that even the smallest sounds feel soft, wrapped in hush. The ship drifts without purpose or plan, held by nothing more than the slow breathing of tide and wood. Above, only the faintest shimmer of hidden stars remains, gentle as thought. Imagine lying there, breath so slow it feels as though the air itself moves in drowsy rhythm. The deck beneath you, warm where sun once lingered, now cools under the weight of quiet. Thoughts rise, faint as ripples across still water, then fade before they can disturb calm, and each breath draws you farther from waking, deeper into rest. Around you, the crew lies scattered in shapes softened by shadow, faces slack, mouths half open, breath steady and shared. For now, no names, no scars, no stories matter, only quiet hearts lulled by the same rockin' dark. Together, they sleep as if the ship itself dreams them into silence. Listen. The slow, low groan of timber easing under gentle swell, the soft lap of water against the hull. A quiet tap of rope stirred by breeze, repeating, patient, unchanging, sounds so gentle they soothe rather than rouse. A lullaby without words. Breathe deeply in, letting the hush of night fill every hollow space of thought and chests. Out. Softer. Longer. Watch each worry slip beyond the rail, sinking into the dark sea. Notice how each breath grows longer until it feels part of the ship's slow rocking. Beyond the rail, darkness stretches beyond thought or memory. No horizon to chase, no map to follow, only drifting, gentle and Thoughts lift lightly, like foam on calm water, then vanish, leaving only quiet behind, and the mind feels as wide and open as the sea itself. Feel your body soften more deeply, limbs heavier, sinking into warm wood, shoulders ease, eyelids heavier still, breath deepens, thought drifts, the mind grows lighter, thoughts floating farther until they scatter and dissolve. Both body and mind held by the same patient hush, the same ancient tide. And so, you drift, neither listener, sailor, nor storyteller now, only breath and heartbeat, rocking gently in the hush. No need to turn back, no need to see ahead, only to drift, softer, deeper, until drifting itself becomes dreaming, and dreaming deepens into calm, endless sleep. The night now feels almost timeless, as though hours themselves have grown too drowsy to pass. The ship drifts slowly, silently, carried by nothing but the old, patient pull of tide and breeze. Above, hidden stars glimmer faintly through drifting mist, their light so soft it soothes rather than shows. Picture yourself lying there, breath slowed to match the hush around you. The boards beneath you, smooth from years of gentle rocking and restless feet, now feel warm and steady. Thoughts rise only faintly, like pale foam on quiet water, then fade before they can stir the mind. With each calm breath, the world of waking drifts farther and farther away. Around you, the crew lies scattered in sleep, their shapes softened by shadow. Hands that by day clutch rope or blade now lie open, empty, harmless. Scars fade into darkness, lines of care, smooth in rest. For now, there are no captains or crew, only quiet souls, breathing in the same slow rhythm. Listen to the quiet song of the ship, the low groan of timber easing under gentle swell, the slow hush of water brushing the hull, the softest whisper of rope stirred by breeze, repeating again and again, sounds that do not break the calm, but deepen it, like a lullaby known by heart. Breathe deeply now, in drawing the cool hush of night deep into chest and thought. Out, letting each last fragment of wakefulness slip gently into darkness beyond the rail. Notice how each breath feels softer, longer, until breathing itself becomes part of the rocking sea. Beyond the ship, darkness stretches without question, without edge. No call of shore, no promise of dawn, only drifting, gentle and Thoughts float up lightly, like drifting sea foam, then vanish into quiet, leaving the mind calm, empty, as dark water under hidden stars. Feel your body sink heavier into the deck, each limb softer than before. Shoulders slacken, breath deepens, eyes heavy with the pull of sleep. The mind grows lighter still, thoughts scattering like mist lifted by tide. Both body and mind held safely in the same slow rocking, ancient, kind, and quiet. And so you drift, no longer pirate, listener, or even dreamer, only breath and heartbeat rocking gently with the tide. No past to recall, no future to seek, only this soft, slow drifting, until drifting itself dissolves into dreaming, and dreaming becomes sleep, silent, deep, and peaceful. The hush of night has deepened so completely, now that even thought itself seems to slow. The ship drifts softly on a sea, as calm as breath, its worn timbers creaking only in gentle rhythm. Above, the last faint stars glow through thin, drifting mist, their light so gentle it barely stirs the dark. Picture yourself lying still, breath softer than the quiet around you. The boards beneath you, smooth from countless journeys, feel almost alive, rocking patiently beneath your weight. Thoughts lift like pale ripples, they melt away before words can catch them, and each slow breath carries you farther from waking, deeper into a soft, endless calm. All around, the crew remains lost in silent dreams, faces turned toward nothing, hands unclenched, breathing slow and steady. Scars, fears, and stories forgotten for these few hours, replaced by the hush of shared rest. Together, they become as quiet and unhurried as the drifting ship itself. Listen now. The low groan of timbers easing under gentle swell, the soft lap of water against the hull, a faint whisper of rope stirred by the breeze, repeating like a thought, sounds so gentle they do not wake but soothe, guiding the mind further into stillness. Breathe in deeply. Let the night's cool calm fill chest and thought alike. Breathe out, softer and slower. Feel each fragment of wakefulness sink beyond the rail. Notice how each breath becomes part of the sea's own slow rhythm. Beyond the ship, Darkness stretches. Without question, without end. No need for compass or star. No harbor to seek. Only drifting, soft and unbound. Thoughts rise, light as foam, then scatter into the hush, leaving the mind as calm and open as the black water beyond sight. Feel your body grow heavier still, limbs softening, sinking deeper into the boards below. Though mind drifts lighter, thoughts scattering like mist above dark water. Both body and mind gently cradled by the same quiet rocking, patient, ancient, and kind. And so you drift, neither sailor, listener, nor even dreamer now. Only breath and heartbeat rocked by tide and night. No past to remember, no future to chase. Only this soft drifting. Slower, deeper, until drifting itself becomes dreaming, and dreaming becomes sleep. Deep, quiet, and complete. The hour has slipped so far into night that even the thought of dawn feels distant and unreal. The ship drifts, quiet as breath, rocked gently by a sea, as calm as thought itself. Above, the faintest glimmer of hidden stars remains, softened by drifting mist, as if the sky, too, drifts in half-sleep. Imagine lying still, breath slowed to match the hush that wraps the ship. The boards beneath you, worn smooth by time and tide, feel warm at first, then cooler as the night deepens. Thoughts rise softly, pale as sea foam, then fade before they can disturb the quiet. And with each slow breath, the waking world slips farther behind. All around, the crew lies, quiet, lost in silent, unspoken dreams. Hard lines of daylight softened by shadow, mouths parted and slow, even breathing. In these hours, they are not pirates nor legends, only quiet shapes rocked by the same dark sea. No gold to seek, no sails to trim, only rest shared in hush. Listen gently. The low groan of wood easing against slow swell, the soft, repeating hush of water brushing the hull, the faintest tap of rope moved by breeze, a slow rhythm older than song. Sounds that ask nothing of you but surrender, guiding thoughts into stillness. Breathe deeply now, in letting the hush of night fill every space of chest and mind. Out. Slower still. Watch each lingering worry slip away into darkness beyond the rail. Notice how each breath feels softer, longer, until breathing itself becomes drifting. Beyond the rail, darkness stretches so wide it feels as though it might cradle even your thoughts. No harbor, no horizon, no promise of dawn. Only drifting, soft and endless. Thoughts lift light as mist, then scatter and dissolve, leaving the mind calm, empty, and open. Feel your body sink heavier into the worn boards. Each limb soft, shoulders eased, breath deep. The mind, lighter still, drifts unmoored, thoughts floating on unseen currents of quiet. Both body and mind held gently by the same patient rocking, the same slow lullaby of sea and night. And so you drift, neither watcher, listener, nor storyteller now. Only breath, heartbeat, and hush. No need to look back, no need to see ahead. Only this slow, soft drifting, until drifting itself dissolves, and only sleep remains. Silent, peaceful, and whole. The night feels so deep now that it seems to swallow sound, thought, and time itself. The ship drifts gently, as though the sea itself has grown too drowsy to stir it faster. Above, the last faint shimmer of hidden stars hangs quietly in mist, their light soft as a remembered lullaby. Picture yourself lying there, breath slow and even almost blending with the hush around you. The boards beneath you, worn by countless tides, feel steady, patient, almost kind. Thoughts lift softly, like faint ripples across still water, then sink before they can form. With each slow breath, the world of waking slips farther behind, softer and smaller around you. The crew lies quiet, breathing together, as if held by the same slow tide. Scars, fears, and plans forgotten for these gentle hours. For now, there are no captains or outlaws, no hunters or only quiet hearts sharing the hush, rocked by the same unseen current that drifts through your chest. Listen, the low, steady groan of timber easing with each slow swell, the faint hush of water brushing barnacled hull, the softest rustle of robe stirred by a sleepy breeze. Repeating without hurt, sounds that soothe, that do not call you back, but guide you deeper into stillness. Breathe deeply now, and draw in the cool hush of night into chest and thought, out softer, slower, letting each remaining fragment of wakefulness slip quietly into darkness beyond the rail. Notice how each breath feels longer, until even breathing feels part of the slow rocking sea. Beyond the ship, darkness stretches without promise, without question. No horizon to chase, no destination to reach, only drifting, gentle and unbound. Thoughts lift lightly, like sea mist, then scatter and vanish, leaving the mind calm and open. Feel your body soften further, limbs sinking heavier into the boards. Low shoulders slack, the mind drifts lighter still, thoughts floating farther, until they dissolve into the quiet. Both body and mind held gently by the same patient rhythm, ancient, kind, and endless. And so you drift, no longer pirate, listener, or even dreamer, only quiet breath rocking gently in the dark. No need to steer, no need to remember, no need to look ahead. Only this slow drifting, until drifting itself becomes dreaming, and dreaming becomes sleep, deep, silent, and complete. The night has deepened so far. Now it feels like there is nothing left but quiet and breath. The ship drifts so slowly it seems, almost part of the sea itself, rocked by waves too gentle to see. Above, only the faintest glow of hidden stars lingers behind drifting mist, their light so soft it barely brushes the deck. Imagine lying there, breath so slow it blends with the hush around you. The boards beneath you feel warm from vanished daylight, now cooled by salt-scented breeze. Thoughts lift softly, no more than pale ripples, then fade before they can take shape. With every slow exhale, the waking world drifts farther away until even memory grows quiet. Around you, the crew remains lost in silent sleep, faces turned toward unseen dreams, hands slack, breath calm and shared. For now, there are no ships to chase, no ports to fear, only the deep hush of night holding every heart alike, a stillness so complete it feels as though time itself has paused to rest. Listen gently, the low groan of timbers easing under soft swell, the hush of water brushing gently against hull, a faint tap of rope stirred by breeze, repeating, slow, sounds that comfort, that guide thought into softness rather than stir it awake. Breathe deeply, in drawing the calm of night deep into chest and mind, letting go of every last spark of wakefulness, releasing it into the darkness beyond the rail. Notice how each breath feels longer, softer, until breathing itself becomes part of the ship's gentle rocking. Beyond the ship, darkness stretches wider than thought, without need of horizon or promise of dawn. No sails to trim, no goal to count, only drifting, soft and unbound. Thoughts rise, light as mist, then scatter and dissolve, leaving the mind empty, quiet, and open. Feel your body soften more deeply, limbs heavy, shoulders slack, breath deepening. The mind drifts lighter still, thoughts floating out and away until they vanish completely. Both body and mind held in the same patient hush, the same slow lullaby of tide and timber. And so, you drift, neither listener, pirate, nor even dreamer now. Only breath, heartbeat, and hush. No need to remember, no need to plan, no need to steer. Only this soft, endless drifting, until drifting itself becomes dreaming, and dreaming deepens into quiet, gentle, unbroken sleep. Now the night has grown so complete, It feels like there is nothing left but breath and softness. The ship barely stirs on the quiet water, each small roll and sigh, part of an ancient rhythm that asks nothing of you. Above, the faintest glow of hidden stars fades slowly behind drifting mist, as though even the sky itself drifts toward sleep. Picture yourself lying still, breath slowed to match the hush so deep around you. The worn boards beneath you feel almost alive, warmed by countless sunsets, cooled now by soft salt air. Thoughts slip like pale foam on slow tide, then vanish before they can form. And with every slow exhale, you drift farther from waking, deeper into a quiet that holds no shape, no time. Around you, the crew lies scattered and calm, surrendered tonight, faces turned toward nowhere, muscles slack, breath slow and shared. All scars, plans, and fears, forgotten for now, replaced only by the hush of sleep and sea. Together, they rest as though the ship itself cradles each of them gently in its wooden heart. Listen softly. The slow creak of timber easing under the faintest swell, the hushed kiss of water against the hull, a quiet shift of rope in the breeze, repeating without hurry, without demand, sounds so tender they feel closer to memory than noise, guiding thought into deeper calm. Breathe deeply now, drawing the hush and salt soft air into chest and mind. Out, longer, softer, letting every lingering spark of wakefulness slip into darkness beyond the rail. Notice how each breath feels slower, until breathing itself becomes the ship's quiet rocking. Beyond the deck, darkness stretches farther than sight or thought, endless and kind. No port to reach, no horizon to chase, no dawn that needs to come soon. Only drifting, softer and softer. Thoughts lift, light as mist, then fade, leaving the mind as wide and calm as night washed. See, feel how your body now grows heavy and soft, muscles loose, shoulders eased, breath deep and quiet. The mind drifts lighter still, thoughts scattering until they dissolve into the hush. Both body and mind held by the same patient rocking, the same slow lullaby of tide and wood. And so you drift, no longer sailor, listener, or even dreamer, only breath and heartbeat, rocking gently in the quiet dark. No past to remember, no future to reach, only this drifting, softer still, deeper still, until drifting itself dissolves. And what remains is sleep, gentle, calm, and endless. Good night, and may the tide of dreams carry you far, softly, and without end.